Do you know what karoshi is? Have you heard of the word karoshi? Oh, that's quite nice actually, I think, and my audio are recording well. I just want to get my phone out. Good morning, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hoping you've had a good start to the Sunday. As I struggle with my gloves to open my phone. I like those gloves, those are the ones, but I think I need to find a way to kind of get through it. Let me just get to my Spotify. Let's go. Jai Mata Di. What's the story with the fuel? 142 kilometers. I will have to refuel. Oh, the bright sun. I'm late. But I just love the weather today. 4K 30 wide it is. I'll do super wide later on. It feels so good riding after 2 weeks. Do you know what karoshi is? Have you heard of the word karoshi? Karoshi is basically a Japanese term to say death by overwork. Sounds scary, right? I mean, there's been an interesting debate on the TV about a 90-hour work week, and I really like the way I mean, the whole thing exploded on the internet, right? How long will you stare at your wife, man? Come on, get your ass up and come to the office and work. And it's interesting that that caused so much of an uproar in the entire corporate fraternity that people started posting memes. And people just need something of a masala of this sort, which then blows everything out of proportion. But what an interesting concept, man. By the way, coming back to karoshi, karoshi is basically the Japanese culture of working, where people work an overtime of 80 hours a week. God. Right, and it's called karoshi. Literally means death by overwork. Well, that's been the culture of Japan, right? People work really long hours and work really, really hard. Working long hours in Japan is the way it works. It's a culture. But if you search the internet called karoshi and death by overwork, you will actually see so many reports that report the fact that in Japan everybody is overworked. The culture of overwork starts right from a very young age in Japan, and that's how it's a culture. That's the DNA of it. And no wonder, second largest economy in the world. Japan is known for best quality management tools. Japan is known for the best automobile giants in the world, the best technology. Think we can do it? Can we actually be working such long hours? Indians are extremely hardworking, there's no two ways about it. But I don't think we can compare ourselves with the Japanese. They are actually on the extreme side of the spectrum. But do you think we are living to work or we are working to live? What do you think about it? Let's talk on the other side. Let me just get through this traffic right now, get into open stretch of road, and we actually talk about it. Look, I also work in a corporate. Japan, while has been an extremely hard-working country, several deaths have been reported in terms of heart attacks at a very young age because of overwork. But hang on, isn't that the same story in India as well? We've seen a lot of youngsters just, collapsing at a treadmill in the office. And, I mean, while there's a lot of uproar about Japan's culture of work and things like that, it's just that in India also we work long hours. Nobody complains about it. It's just that it hasn't caught the attention of the social media and things like that. And in a way, for me, I think, working long hours is fine as long as it's going to be productive. I'm sure everybody would agree to it. You got to be productive when you're working long hours. While I'm going to make my bike also work a little harder today, I need to refuel it. Some air filled into the bike. 42 at the rear and 36. Stay tuned with me, okay? We're going to talk a lot about karoshi. The word itself sounds pretty scary. Now, I don't know what you guys and girls think about it, that is working long hours actually the panacea for the development of a country and the economy and the people? I don't know. Is hard work and long work the same thing? But long hours can always be hard work, right? There's a bit of a catch out there, right? You work long hours, people will think you're working hard. Now, a lot of management gurus and pundits will always talk and advocate about the fact that don't work hard, work smart. Now it's even more confusing, guys. So what's smart work? What's hard work? I mean, the way I would like to kind of give some color and context to this smart work and hard work. So there were these two woodcutters I'm talking about, right, using their axes to cut the trees. There was one individual, one of the woodcutters, who would actually cut wood, right, for about 3-4 hours, and then disappear for an hour, and then come back and start cutting wood again for another 2-3 hours. So give and take, in 5 hours, the amount of wood this individual or this woodcutter would cut, it's probably double the amount of wood cutting being done by the other woodcutter who's been not taking a break, maybe just for lunch and some water, but has been just using his axe all the day cutting wood. And one day he asked this guy that, look, what happens? You disappear for an hour and then come back, and you work lesser hours than I do, but at the same time you actually cut more wood. What exactly is the secret out here? And the guy actually smiled at him and said, you know, I disappear for an hour, and I actually go and sharpen my axe. Now, I'll take a pause there for a minute for you to kind of absorb what I'm trying to say. I hope you've got the context. The one who sharpens his axe is spending lesser time, but being more productive. To me, I mean, that's an example of smart work. Just to substantiate this argument of mine, when I was working for an organization, usually the shift is about 9 hours. Yeah. So we experimented with a unique concept to say that, okay, you do about 45 hours of work in a week and you get 2 days off. Let's try and shrink that to 4 days, which basically meant you're going to work close to about 11 hours every single day, okay, with of course lunch breaks and short breaks, and you finish your 45 hours a week and you get 3 days off. As a concept, it sounded absolutely amazing, and everybody was delighted. Wow, this is amazing. But when the rubber hit the road and we started to kind of implement this with a small test group of individuals, what we started seeing is very high burnout rate. People were getting burnt out. The quality of conversations with the customers, 11 long hours, let's say even you have an hour or hour and a half break or even 2 hours of break, 11 hours of continuous work was actually taking a toll on people's health. So we started seeing a lot of unplanned absenteeism. We started to see people falling sick, the productivity not being great, the quality of conversations falling. When we did an extensive discussion with this closed user group as to what was happening, their answer was, initially it was all fine. We liked the 3 days of week off. It was looking good. But I think when you come back for an 11-hour work window and you're working for 11 hours, I think we were getting completely exhausted. We're not used to that long hour working. Where it is possible to do long hours, like probably in Japan, they do long hours. Maybe because, as I said, they started from a very early time in the childhood, so that's fine with us. But clearly we were not in for it. As I said, there are statistical evidences of countries which are doing just about 7 hours a week, 7 hours working day, which probably be about 35 hours a week. I'm told are far more productive. I've not seen any scientific evidences towards it, but there's a lot of conversation happening on that aspect. In my view, I really enjoy the time off work during my weekend so that I can pursue a passion of riding my motorcycle, or you could pursue anything else that you really enjoy. It allows you to unwind. Trust me, bright and brilliant ideas come when you're not thinking about work at all. It's a fact. Think about it, guys and girls, again. Are we working to live, or we're living to work? On that note, I'm going to bring this vlog to a close. Take good care of yourselves. You decide whether you want to work long hours, you want to work hard or smart. The choice is yours. You know better what suits you, and be that person and be successful. Take good care of yourselves and, if possible, a few others. On that note, bye for now.